I almost wrecked on the way home last night. I was so freaking tired. My dad almost grabbed the steering wheel.
Why? Because you fell asleep?
I nodded off and I almost ran into the rear end of an 18-wheeler.
I'm like right now. I'm so tired.
You might want to edit that out.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of 5 Idiots Talking Toys. I'm Shane. It's Sunday night if you're watching this live, and it's time for another podcast episode. Thanks very much for subscribing to the channel here on YouTube. Hit that like button and comment below. Let us know what you think of this topic. If you have a question for us, we'd love to answer it there as well. Maybe you're listening on your favorite podcast app. Thanks very much for following the show there as well. You're in your car, you're on the treadmill, you're mowing the lawn, and we appreciate you bringing us with you. Here are 4 other idiots. No, only 3. No Charles. John Walden is here. Hey, Johnny.
Hello.
Let's get you full screen there.
Thank
All
you.
right. Brandon is sometimes last, so he's going to come in right now.
Hi.
Hi. And Christopher is usually last, and so we kept him there. Here's Christopher.
Nobody gets me free gifts. Wow!
Wah, I'm always last with no gifts. Where's your brother?
Charles is where?
Crying because nobody got him a gift.
Oh,
Yeah.
he is. He's working tonight. Is that correct?
He is on. He's away for training.
Oh, so he's in Atlantic City. You mean?
He's in Atlantic City for training.
Okay, right. Upstate New York, Atlantic City.
Yeah, rolling dice.
At the casino.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, here we are. It is a toy collectors podcast. We've been doing this for 7.5 years now. We have 400 plus episodes. No, it's been about half of that.
We're up to about almost 1 million subscribers.
1 million subscribers. We make $14 a year on this show from YouTube. Thank you.
After that's about right.
1 million. Well, for
That's
1
about
million
right.
subscribers.
1 million subscribers. You know, my son goes from YouTube to YouTube. Idiots, not us idiots, but real idiots. He's big on what's the one he watches now? Oh God, it's like these 3 guys who have a mansion and they just do stupid stuff all day. Unspeakable. I never heard of them before he found them, but they got a mansion in Texas. On this property, there's a moat around the house. They have islands. They drive jet skis literally around the house. And then they throw stuff at each other and do stupid stuff like fill the house with balls and mud. And
How many subs do they have?
oh my God, I got to look it. I got to look it up because I don't know.
Probably tons. Like
It's unbelievable.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he's watching YouTube. He's 7.5. They got 15 seasons. I don't even know what that means.
He looks at you and goes, "Daddy, you're on YouTube. Where's my moat?"
Right. They have 18.2 million followers.
He's an entrepreneur.
18.2 million. They have 984 videos. John, how many do we have?
4,000.
We have over 1,000 if you count our shorts.
Yeah. We have over 1,000.
We have more videos than they do, and they have 18.2 million. So, they got
something wrong.
money falling out of their bungholes. And, my son thinks I'm a YouTuber like Unspeakable,
God, when he grows up and realizes.
I try to tell him, like, you have no concept of what a small percentage of people make money on YouTube. It's like 3% of 1%. Like 3% of the top 1% of YouTubers make a living on YouTube.
It's like people who do real estate also. Like, especially if you work in the city, like the top 5% make money, and then 95% do not make any money.
Yeah, they're just surviving. Yeah,
they're just surviving and getting by.
On this show, we are not even surviving. We're just
no.
we're just here.
We're losing.
We're crawling.
We're losing. Yeah.
I'm losing money by being on here.
Yeah. Can we please hurry up this episode? Brandon's tired of losing money tonight.
Brandon just lost $2 more from Shane talking.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. The topic tonight is, why does everyone need to explain why they are selling their collectibles? We're talking about sales posts, maybe a live claim sale, an auction, a live sale, something like that.
I'm losing money by being on here, so that's why I'm selling. I'm selling my toys because I'm losing money on my YouTube channel.
Selling my toys because I do a toy collector podcast where I'm losing money.
It's like a guy. It's like a guy who's trying to sell something, kind of like James Coleman. He puts like a sales pitch on, what's that saying? Like snake oil
salesman.
Snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
But you're just reversing it now, and you're selling it, but you're putting a sob story on it, to make people feel bad.
Right, and anybody who doesn't know that saying, it's from the old West days when somebody would roll into town on a stagecoach, and he'd have a suitcase full of magic elixir, snake oil, and he would tell you that it would cure anything that you have. He would name 200 illnesses, and it would cure it. He'd sell it, take your money, and be out of town before you even took it. And that's what some people do, unfortunately, in the hobby. But just your regular, average, respectable collectors do feel like they need to share a lot of stories with you when they're posting stuff. Why is that?
I have no idea.
I honestly, I think some people feel the need to share, whether it's true or not. I think other people do it because I think some people might be lying about it. I don't know. I can't. You can't be 100% truthful on these. There's got to be some people that are.
Do they want the attention or something?
Yeah, they do that to sell their stuff to make people feel bad. Maybe I'm not saying everybody does that, but I'm saying there's probably a good percentage of people that. There's probably a good percentage of people that are truthful and saying like, "Hey, I gotta pay my medical bills. I'm selling my collection." Okay, fine, cool. And then there's people that are like, "I need to sell my collection and pay my medical bills. So help me out because I need to pay my medical bills."
I've seen guys make a post saying, "I got a flat tire and I can't afford a new tire, so I'm selling a Luke Poncho Power of the Force mock." And in my head, I'm just like, "Wow! Like, did you really need to tell everyone that you have a flat tire? Like, are we going to buy it more now because you have a flat tire?" In your car?
Are we? I don't even feel bad for you with a flat tire. Like,
I don't even think that. The first thing I think is, did you really need to / want to tell everyone you're so broke that you can't afford it? I'm not criticizing that you're broke. I'm just saying, keep that a little private. Like, do you want to tell everybody that you can't afford a tire?
No. Well, Shane, you're not criticizing, but I mean, we actually can criticize because it's kind of sad if these guys are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars on toys.
Yeah.
And then to think if you have a flat tire that you can't afford to fix it, it's like, well, why are you collecting toys in the first place?
Well, this falls right into the same scope that we've talked about before. Chris, you sell a lot of stuff. Brandon, you sell a lot of stuff. When you hear the guys like, "Hey, I want to claim this, but can I pay you next week?" And it's just like, I understand that's part of the spiel for you guys because that's you got to just deal with everybody, all flavors. But if you don't have the money right now and you got to wait for a paycheck to buy a toy, you can't afford that toy. Like,
don't buy the toy.
Don't buy the toy. If you're living ahead of your paycheck to buy a toy, you're not doing the right thing.
Correct.
Come on. You don't have $100. You got to wait till next week to get paid again. Then don't buy that toy.
And that's where I agree with you is with stuff like that. We're talking like couple $100, and the guy says, can you wait till next Friday before I get paid? It's in my head. It's like, all right, well, you probably shouldn't be claiming or wanting this toy. But again, payment plans are very good when it's items that are actually expensive. I'm talking thousands. Even if it's $500, no one's expecting you to say, "Hey, you have to come up with $500 today to buy the item, but you can have until like next week. It's when it's like it's of lower value, then I find it more crazy.
Yeah,
those higher value stuff I can understand.
Those higher value things, I get it, but at the same time, something that's 500 is a good number. I like that number because that is expensive, but it's not outrageous.
It's not outrageous, but it's
$500. If you need to go on, I don't mean to criticize because I don't know everybody's situation, but in my head I'm thinking if you need to go on a payment plan for something that you want that's $500, you maybe you can't afford it. And Chris is not TD Bank. He's not the Goldman Sachs. I mean, he's not a financier. He's not a loan. He's not a bank. He's not making loans. I mean, he's selling things. Either you can buy it or you can't.
Bank allowance, sir.
That's how I think about it. But I feel bad when I see people post these, issues they're having, but I'm also
some people are, they like to tell everybody what, and they're truthful. They actually have this going on.
Yeah.
And they want to tell people that. I think that's half of it, and I think the other half is people just making shit up, and they want to say something to get attention, and that you feel bad, and you buy their stuff to help them out. And reality is, they probably aren't having any problems, and they just want you to buy it because now you feel bad for them.
Yeah, John, what do you think about this?
Well, I don't like the pity party aspect of it at all. It's like, just sell it. Somebody wants to buy it, they'll buy it.
You don't need a story.
We don't need the story that goes along with it.
Yeah.
I don't like excuses. I don't like, stuff like that. So that part of it, I just can't. I don't like that at all. And I do agree that some people may have to do it for whatever emergency. We've known people who've done it for emergency reasons, and they didn't say that it was for an emergency.
Mm-hmm.
We've known guys like that.
Yeah, they keep it to themselves, and you know why they're doing it, but they don't say anything.
Nobody needs to know why you're selling it. Nobody needs to know why you're selling it.
I think there's some people who genuinely are just have that personality. They're just being honest and friendly. Like, hey, something came up, and they just happen to include that. I think there's maybe some other people that include that because they feel they want to, something inside them, the collector inside them wants to express maybe that there's nothing wrong with the item. They would love to, they like the item. They wish they could keep it, but the reason why they're selling it is blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, they would have loved to keep it themselves, that it's a very good item. Like there's some little percentage, I think, that do it for that reason.
Yeah.
And then there's some that just think it'll help it sell. I don't know.
And on the flip side of that, who needs to know why you're selling it? I don't need to know.
I mean, some people put up an item that is so like rare and unique, and you're like, man, why is that guy selling that? That's like, why is the guy selling that DT Vader? That's a pretty rare figure, and those aren't too far out there. And then you're, it's to fund something else that you bought that's of a higher value, and I see that a lot too.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I'm selling it because I need to fund another grill that I'm looking for, and all that, because usually they don't put that out there, but you'll see people ask like, "Are everything okay? I can't believe you're selling that thing." Yeah. And they're like, "Yeah, well, I'm trying to pay for something else."
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get to the point where you almost need to say something because it's, it becomes a conversation if it is something rare. But
I always try and look at it and be like as humane as possible and try and be nice about it. But when you're selling like us and people that do payment plans, the stories that I get for people trying to back out of a payment plan that they've already been on for a month or two are so unbelievable and out there that when people are posting items for sale, I relate it to that because I'm like, it's probably a lie. I hate to say it, but like, I mean, I've had a guy who owed, let's say he put a $3,000 item and he was $2,000 into it and he had 2 weeks left and he was like, my aunt died. I have to pay for the whole entire funeral expense. I have to back out of this deal. I need all my money back. And I'm like, sorry, like, It's 20% down, non-refundable. You'll get back everything else but the 20%. Like, that's why I do that, because people will pay halfway or 3/4 of the way, and then they want to back out. And but I'm just saying, I get like really crazy stories. Like, I'm going into rehab, and my house blew away in the storm, or all these things, and it's like, and then you watch them on Facebook buying on other groups and post, and then you're like, So
that's my favorite thing is when you see them start buying stuff on other pages and
everywhere else.
While they have a GoFundMe open.
yeah. So like, it's very hard to like feel bad, and I just keep my mouth shut. I don't say anything. I keep it to myself, and I'm just like, people are always going to do weird things.
Yeah. So for you personally, though, are you hard and fast with that 20%? Like, do you take care of yourself by
1,000%?
Yeah, you gotta be strict. You can't be a pushover.
No, you have to be very strict. You cannot be a pushover. I do payment plans. I like right now. At any given point, I can have $40,000 or $50,000 of my money out on a payment plan, and I'm waiting on it to get paid on, and that's not even an exaggeration. Like right now, I'm probably at $50,000 right now in payment plans with people. So I'm not holding these items for 6 months, 4 months, 3 months for you to just back out and say, I want it all back. No, like you'll get it back minus the 20%.
Yeah.
And then I relist it and I sell it. And I don't want to say I don't care what story you tell me, but I don't care what story you tell me.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it is. And everyone has a date. Everyone gets a specific date. If it's not paid off by, December 5th, I don't want to hear you on December 7th. It's December 5th, not December 6th. And I say it very clearly in the message when we do that, because if you've had 3 months, please don't tell me you need one more day than the 3 months. That means that you weren't trying hard in the first 3 months.
Right.
Oh,
all right. Good for you. I could just imagine you getting beat up side the head constantly with these people if you're not strict
all the time. So I'm very strict with it, and everyone knows that I am. I'm very blatant in my messages when I tell them, like, if I don't have it by the end of that day, you'll see it back in your PayPal minus 20%.
Okay.
So
all right. So what else have we seen post? I mean, I think I've seen, my cat needs surgery.
Yeah, I've seen like the whole pet thing, like my dog. It's a lot of it is like my dog needs this, my dog needs that, and whatever.
My dog swallowed a nickel.
A nickel. And again, some of it may be true, and some of it may. Who knows at this point? No one really knows what's a lie and what's true. So whenever I see those posts, I always just scroll by. I never pay attention to them. I'll never buy the item. It doesn't make me want to buy it more or anything.
Yeah.
Ever.
I don't know how you guys are with pets. I don't know if you have had pets or whatever. I've had dogs my whole life, and I love my dog. I've loved all my dogs that I've had. But when I hear people, something, especially with the older dogs, and my dog is old now. My dog just turned 14. She can't hear. She doesn't know where the hell she is half the time. When I hear people say that, my dog needs a liver transplant, like something crazy, and it's like $6,000 or whatever. I think to myself, like, I feel like I'm being very cold when I think this, but $6,000 for a dog operation. Like, the dog's had its days. Like, the dog's days are over now. I love my dog. With the day my dog dies, I'm going to cry, but I'm not spending $6,000 or $8,000 to keep an old dog alive for another year.
I'm laughing not because I think it's funny, but because I did exactly that twice already. But both times,
I don't get it. But go ahead.
Well, you bought new livers for your dog?
They didn't get new livers, but see, I bought French bulldogs, and French bulldogs are just known to have short lifetime and a lot of problems. So both of my dogs ended up dying of cancer. One was 4 and the other one was 5, like with 3 and 4. It was very, very young. So the last dog, Thunder, like when I had him, he was very sick. And if the dog in general costs $5,000 to buy these dogs, like they are expensive, I probably spent $8,000 or $9,000 keeping this dog alive just on medicine, surgeries because of the stomach, and his intestines kept on getting twisted up inside, and just like all these things. And it's like he's your dog. Like I love him to death. You know, of course you're going to spend the money. Again, he wasn't like he was an 18-year-old dog that was going to live to 19. He was a 4-year-old dog.
Yeah.
So I was just,
Shane, try saying that to your kids when your kids are crying because the dog needs surgery and you refuse to pay it, and the kids are like, and then,
I will.
Then you look at them and you're like,
he goes, yeah, I will.
I'll put you on speakerphone when I tell you. I can relate to what Chris just said though, because I did have one dog in my early 20s. As an adult. My sister and I had a dog that we got together. We were somewhere and there was a dog and we got it together. We were both living at home still in college, and it had seizures. It had whatever caused seizures semi-regularly. So once in a blue moon, it would have a seizure, and it got to the point after like a year where it was having seizures weekly, like bad seizures. And so it went on medication for a while, and then it got to the point where it was happening like every couple days. And the vet just looked at us one day and said, "This dog is only, 3 years old. This is gonna get worse before it gets better. And the dog is really suffering. There's nothing else that you can do for the dog. She's on the medication. Like, you need to think about putting the dog out of its misery. It's just suffering on an every other day basis." And we were heartbroken. We didn't want to do that, but cooler heads prevailed after a few weeks, and we were like, we can't let her live like this. She's being tortured. So I understand that it's not fun. It's not fun. But when I hear people having to pull money together out of wherever, thin air, sell stuff and put themselves in financial ruin, to pay for dog surgeries, I just can't believe it.
Yeah, buying a boutique dog is like buying a vintage Triumph TR7.
Yeah.
I don't really know what that part means, but I know what John's trying to mean. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they cost a lot of money, and there's always problems, and they're just that's why after this last one, Jackson, my middle kid, wants a dog so bad, and I will never get another dog.
I don't know why John likes vacuum cleaners, but I see what he's
Am I right that it's a motorcycle? Or is it a car?
No, it's a car.
Oh, okay. My first
thought it was a motorcycle.
Car.
I thought it was a motorcycle, and then I was like, oh, maybe it's actually a lawnmower.
The vintage parts are hard enough to find for domestic. It's British.
Yeah. They down by John's neck of the woods. They race lawnmowers. They love that.
I believe it.
We do.
They have tractor.
When I taught at Lafayette High School, we did have lawnmower trials for the FFA.
So I just made that up, and it was accurate. Yeah, but I've seen that they put all that extra horsepower in a lawnmower, and it goes like 70 miles an hour. It's crazy. Yeah. All right, boys. I think we've said enough about people posting their sob stories and their reasons for selling toys. Did we come up with a conclusion? No, of course we didn't. This is 5 Idiots Talking Toys.
Let's not beat a dead dog over its head or something, okay?
Please like and subscribe to this channel.
Unless you're Shane, and then you'll just beat your dog anyway.
Hey, if a dog, if a dog's had a couple good years, that's good enough.
Does a dog poop in the woods? It might be the Pope.
Make sure you hide your nickels.
Thank you for watching. Please check out our Patreon. The link is below in the video description. You can also get a t-shirt. There's merch shop and all that stuff. Socials. Follow us on socials.
Patreon.
Speaking of t-shirts, please. Speaking of t-shirts, I need to get gas in my car. So can someone purchase a t-shirt so I can put gas in my car? Thank you.
Please subscribe so we can get gas. All right. We'll hope that Charles is here with us next time. He'll be back from Atlantic City on training. And we'll see you next time on 5 Idiots Talking Toys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Collect with us at rogue5toys.com.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.